The No Fate channel, checking in. On this episode of the Supplement Review, we are talking about g.d.a's, that's right, glucose disposal agents, and I'm going to be reviewing Huge Nutrition's Utilize, their insulin-mimic nutrient and partitioning formula. If this happens to be your first time to the channel, give this video a like, hit that red subscribe button, just smash it. Okay, on this series, we typically review a supplement on every episode to help you decide, that's right, you decide if it's right for your fitness goals, your health needs, and most importantly, that hard-earned money. Glucose disposal agents are things that have really popped up in terms of marketing in the supplement world. Over the past 2 years, they've been very popular, but I'm gonna give you the nickel tour about what they're supposed to do. Typically, you take in carbohydrates, glucose hits your bloodstream, and then your body sends insulin into your bloodstream to clear out the glucose. Now, insulin is probably the number one, there's a few, the number one hormone that tells your body to store fat. And as you can imagine, you take in a whole bunch of sugar or a whole bunch of junk food, and your insulin is going to be jacked up through the roof. That response is going to just be jacked up through the roof, and your body's going to want to store all those calories as fat. Well, here comes glucose disposal agent. In a perfect world, the g.d.a is going to lower that glycemic load in your system for the carbohydrates that you eat. You're not going to need as much insulin, and your body will not store those carbohydrates as extra energy and as fat. And that's the idea behind it, whether you were on a bulk, whether you're on a cut. The idea is that you don't want those extra calories in your system being stored as fat. You really want to reduce that glycemic load on your system and keep that system really even over the course of the entire day, rather than having those spikes of insulin that often come with either taking in a whole bunch of junk food, having like a big carb meal, that kind of thing. Let's quickly talk about Huge Nutrition. The website is actually hugesupplements.com. I'll put my affiliate link, and the code is NoFate247 in the description of today's video. I do have an affiliate link because I like their products so much. I had them set one up. So I do get a kickback on that. If you use that link, use that code, it does help me out. It is appreciated, but do know if you click on that link, you're supporting the NoFate27 channel and all the lights that I have behind me, because that electric bill is not cheap. So overall, it's a good company. They've been putting solid ingredients panels together. Their Rect pre-workout, super great everyday driver that I love. Some would say it might be a little too much of an everyday driver in terms of strength. Their Rect Extreme, a great extreme high stim pre-workout. Their Pump Serum is a good pump product, good stim-free pre-workout. And I've been trying a number of their other ones as well. One bottle, 30 full servings. And I do mean a full serving. One serving is 6 full pills. And we'll get into how I've been using this. I'm actually like halfway through the bottle. I'm actually more than halfway through the bottle, to be honest. Okay, we've got a D3 coming in at 1,000 IUs. I'm a big fan of D3. It is a fat-soluble vitamin. You do need to get a lot of that in your system because it is hard to absorb. Most of us, unfortunately, especially if you don't get a lot of sun, most of us are going to be vitamin D3 deficient. Very, very important for your immune system, as 2020 showed us. Also, magnesium, 250 milligrams. Chromium picolinate, 62.5 micrograms. That's known to help kind of fight the storage of fat. Then we've got a few other ingredients, and here's a couple standouts. Number one, cinnamon powder, 500 milligrams, and then we've got cinnamon bark extract, 125 milligrams. Cinnamon is one of those really good ingredients that people don't realize they should be including more of it in their diet. It lowers the glycemic index of the food you eat. It's exactly what we've been talking about with regards to g.d.a's. It does what it's supposed to do. You take in cinnamon with any food, and it's going to take whatever the glycemic index is and lower it. And that's what you want. You want a lower number because your body's going to respond slower to that carbohydrate over time. It's not going to dump a whole bunch of insulin into your system. And the last ingredient I want to go over is alpha lipoic acid. ALA, that is a strong antioxidant. This comes in at 300 milligrams. And a lot of other g.d.a's unfortunately undersell or underdose that ingredient because it is an expensive ingredient, but it does work. It is a very strong antioxidant that has been shown to, again, blunt your body's response, to prevent your body from signaling itself to store those extra calories as fat. And I don't care if you're on a bulk, if you're on a cut, if you're just looking to maintain, none of us really need to be storing extra calories as fat, especially as we get older. So I have been testing Utilize a number of different ways. Number one, for a week and a half, I actually tried using half a dose prior to my workouts, almost as like a pre-workout, to see if I got any better pumps or if I get any better experience in the gym. And the answer to that is no. I didn't actually notice any difference during my workouts than my normal routine. The other way I tried this 4 times was during cheat meals. Yeah, I cheated 4 times. I took a full 6-pill dose about an hour, about 45 minutes to an hour prior to kind of indulging in high calorie, high carbs, or even some adult beverages, just to see how it would handle. And I will tell you straight away, the big standout was that I wasn't as bloated. I didn't feel as lethargic. I definitely felt like I just had a bit more pep in my step with regards to what I normally feel like when I kind of go down that buffet rabbit hole. Overall, I am a big fan of g.d.a's. I don't think you need to use them every day. How would I use them going forward in the future? Number one way I would use it is on cheat meals. If I had a diet or if I had known cheat meals in my routine, I know a lot of people have diets where they diet 6 days a week and then on the 7th day, they kind of have like an eat anything you want kind of day to kind of reset the system. I would absolutely use these before cheat meals to kind of balance it out, to kind of prevent those carbohydrates that you're going to be indulging in to be stored as fat. The other way I would use it, which is some way that you probably don't realize, is I would use it on a bulk. The truth is, many people, when they do bulk, I know it's the summertime, so you're not really thinking about bulking, but when they do bulk, they ingest tons of carbohydrates. And you want to put on weight, but you really don't want to put on weight. You want to put on muscle. You don't want to put on fat. So I would certainly use this during that bulk. I would probably use half a dose during the first 2 big meals of the day for that bulk in order to prevent my body from storing the extra calories as fat and rather trying to turn a lot of that energy into muscle. And the last way that I would utilize is if I was on a diet. And before I even get into how I would do that, I want to say if you're on a diet, you want to make sure that you're not really just cutting back all your calories. That's not the way to look good. When you kind of go on those caloric deficit death diets, when you're on poverty carbohydrates, when you've got like no food on your plate, unfortunately your body just tears into the muscle and you end up looking skinny fat. And you really want to be losing weight progressively over the longest period of time possible and just gradually cutting back on the calories, trying to gradually increase your metabolism. But if I was on a diet and I was trying to maintain as much of that lean mass as I have and not lose fat and not lose muscle, I would pick up a bottle of Utilize and probably do a half dose an hour before my biggest carb meal of the day. And that would ideally prevent the storage of fat with those carbs and put all of those carbs to good use, keeping and retaining that muscle while still, making sure that you're losing the weight that you want, because weight is fat and muscle, and we want to make sure that we're losing the fat and not the muscle. Overall, I think it is a very valuable, viable product to use in specific situations, and it might be right for you in those situations. At $1.30 per serving, it certainly comes in with what you should be paying, because keep in mind, if you're doing half a serving a day, you're going to get 120 servings out of that one bottle. Let me know in the comments below if you've used a glucose disposal agent, which one you used, how you used it, and if you like it. Overall, I'm a big fan of Huge Nutrition thus far with their supplements. I think Utilize is a really good label and a really decent product, especially at that $1.30 price point. It's certainly got full dosages of what I would be looking for if I was making my own g.d.a. Hopefully you found this review informative. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you've come this far in the video, you are an absolute legend. Do me a huge favor, give this video a like, hit that red subscribe button. As usual, thank you for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. This channel is dedicated to my life as a father of 2 wonderful children, and it centers around health, fitness, and all of the tricks and tribulations that I go through to try to be a great parent to my children and still accomplish my